We're gonna UVTV, motherfucker. I'm gonna kick spiritual ass and do this for my people. On God. Nia, nigga, Fafeatheremae, yeah. Today I'm gonna be talking about UV the Fafeather, UV the Fafeatheremae and the origins of the Gen Z great Nigerian American high priest, mystic, holy man, aka the one who is the farthest light and light as a feather, for the most part. Me really talking about myself in my own persona, public persona. I mean, it's still me in general and stuff like that, but like why I be saying the shit I be saying and how every time I even come up on here, this is my programs and my intentions and me doing this for my people who are in my sentiment for the most part, or think alike, you know what I'm saying? Spiritual family and all that type shit for the most part. So from me asserting myself as UV, the UV in general, same thing as like my channel and everything I be talking about is just use vessel. Use vessel just because I like being utilized as a vessel for God. Look at God as all possibilities. And for me having my own individual perspective from my soul, right, and how I feel and what's in my heart and my intentions and my passions and my motivations and my awareness and me expanding out of a mind and contracting into a new one and having these creative, productive type of ideas and concepts and visions that I be having. I'm trying to manifest and materialize it in me coming as myself in any shape and form beyond just my physical body and the technology and the things we utilize as a tool in the physical realm, right? And beyond just my mind in general that I'm in this lifetime and stuff like that, the overall spirit that I'm in. So I'm just giving you a piece of me. So for me showing a piece of me, even after death, you get that whole ideology of how I am and how I think and my creative gifts and talents and my abilities and my power and my, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the same way how y'all be looking at deities and stuff like that, or like God and goddesses, that's just me using my glorified body, or me and my godly space, godly body, and all that type shit. Just race to work out with all possibilities and stuff like that. I try to create my own world, my own sphere, atmosphere, my sphere at most, my own atmosphere, my own world, my own space, my own orb. You know what I'm saying? Like my own way of how I look at the world, my own viewpoints from me being me. So based upon my individuality and me believing in something more than me type shit, I try to encapsulate that the best way I can using other entities and things from existence and stuff like that and trying to make it make sense into the 3D, you know what I'm saying, the physical realm and shit like that. And for me making common sense out of things, aka me being sensitive to the senses beyond just the physical sight and the sensation of smelling, like the physical type of smell and the physical taste and the physical hearing, the physical seeing and shit like that. Um, and me using, you know what I'm saying, like me using common sense, aka spiritual discernment, my intuition, and what I'm inspired by, my inner spiral. So me expanding that mentality even further and stuff like that. Y'all just, yeah, it's just me showing me for the most part. So I'm saying that to say like I'm trying to get into a grander point. So that's where the UV shit come from. And then for Feathermade, it's just my terminology of how I look at it. So the same way how y'all look at priests, or the same way y'all look at like medicine men, or the same way y'all look at like Native American chiefs or like African chiefs or something like that, from like a tribal perspective, and like what y'all go to them for, like, you know what I'm saying, like the medicine men, the holy men, the priests, the mystical men, you know what I'm saying, like they have like goddamn like monk motherfuckers, like monk teachings and like shamans, you know what I'm saying, like I'm just pulling different examples. That's basically what I call that, and that's my own word for Feathermade. For Feathermade just means the one who's the farthest light and light as a feather. So for me being in that perspective, and me leading charge of my own mentality of how I look at it, and me making up my own terminology, me making up my own word, when I say, oh, welcome to UVTV, motherfucker, I'm here to kick spiritual ass and do this for my people, I mean every single word that I'm saying for the most part. Like that's me making the program. Welcome to UVTV, motherfucker. UV television, my program, my channel, my, you know what I'm saying? Like my videos, my shit. I'm here to kick spiritual ass. So that's why I be saying, I'll talk a lot of, you know what I'm saying, spiritual talk in general when I be on here and stuff like that. Now, I can get into the physical, you know what I'm saying? I can get into 3D, I can get into the industrial mind and stuff like that and make sense, like make it make sense in this realm of reality and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like make it make sense in how they run in society right now when it comes to the government and all that type shit. Like I can talk about worldly type things. Is basically what I'm trying to say. I can talk about worldly type things, but I always look at it from a light body perspective. I look at it from a lighter perspective. You know what I'm saying? I look at the mentality and the practices and the practitioners of that practice first. I don't get lost into a language or the words. I get more into the intentions and the motivations and like what's making them push this out in the first place. Like what's the essence, what's the substance, the subconscious realm that relates to the collective conscious to make them want us to be consciously aware of this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like people, places, things, just in general, like everything in existence in general. Like that's how I be attacking everything. I always look for the mystery, the mysticism behind the history. So before it even get physically externalized and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, what put someone in a certain mentality to even push that out and make people feel like, oh, this is a part of history and stuff like that. So, and like the way I be looking at shit, I don't even be caring about that shit unless it got something to do with my sentiment or my people type shit. AKA people who are like my spiritual family. Or like what yeah, like people who are like my spiritual family, or like I feel familiar to you in some way, shape, or form. Like, oh, okay, you're familiar to me with like on like a soul level. Like you as an individual, oh, you remind me of me type shit. Not in like an ego type way, but it's like, oh, okay, we're serving the same type of path. We're going down the same type of path. We're in the same family, tribal family, spiritual family, and stuff like that. And you can experience that beyond just your physical family. And people who connected to you through blood and shit like that, and end up going to a different lifetime. If you came back as a human, you end up being born in their family because y'all was so buddy so much, and y'all like being around each other's energies and stuff like that. That's a different video though. It's a different video. But for the most part, when it comes to Gen Z, so like any nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we like generations be every like 20 or 30 years type shit. Really 30 years. The same way how it be with the sun cycles and the sun pockets when it comes to degrees and astrology and stuff like that. That's a different video. But based upon like those different generations, those 30-year gap, that 20-30 year gap and stuff like that, and then they start breaking it up into quarter paths, quarter sections. So like from 15 years to 15 years, 15 years. So, oh, Gen X and then millennials and Gen Z. I'm just Gen Z. I'm the Gen Z version of the Fafeatheremae shit. I'm the Gen Z version of how you would look at a priest. I'm the Gen Z version of what you look at as mystical. I'm the Gen Z version of what y'all look at as a holy man or like a sacred man. I'm the Gen Z version of like a monk or like a shaman, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be the most spiritual motherfucker online. I'm not trying to be the most spiritual motherfucker in reality and stuff like that. I'm just willing to be used as a vessel to play, you know what I'm saying? Be used as a vessel when it comes to all possibilities to show y'all it's possible to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I do that from an overall space, the godly space, and I condense it into a mentality in a mind, and I make it make sense in the physical and shit like that. And then y'all just look at me like, this motherfucker be saying a lot of spiritual shit. Oh, this motherfucker like, I don't know, he be talking real conspiracy theory talk. Oh, this motherfucker always look at shit in his own little way, in his own world. That's what I'm saying. We create thoughts, we create feelings, we create vision, we create a dream, we create spheres, atmospheres, we create worlds. That's the point. The same way how y'all be looking at celebrities and shit like that as like deities and shit like that, and they be walking emanations of stars and shit like that. That's what they're doing. They're walking suns, or they're walking moons. We're walking atmospheres. We're walking universes in a sense. You know what I'm saying? You align your chakras, aka your solar system, like that solar system. They be saying that we in and shit like that, and you know what I'm saying. You have to revolve and rotate and go through the different seasonal transitions to where niggas revolve around what the fuck you doing, because you a attractive motherfucker who know how to get attention in the right areas and stuff like that, and be seen as a walking example to, you know what I'm saying, of like what niggas aspire to be like, what niggas are inspired by based upon what they paying attention to. Keyword, they're paying attention, so they have to value it. And you know what I'm saying, every time you give your 2 cents and you try to make sense out of what you're paying attention to, you're giving it more value, you give it more spiritual currency, you building it more up and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, for me doing that out of my own volition, and there's no backdrop behind that, there's no, I say like handlers behind that, there's no industry behind that. It's just me and my people being people in the same mentality as me. It don't necessarily have to be people who are the same blood running ethnicity and stuff like that, even though it can go into that. That's why I say the great Nigerian American, because I am Nigerian based upon my ancestry and shit. Yeah, like based upon my ancestry and whatnot, I am Nigerian, but I was born in America based upon, you know what I'm saying, like slavery, colonization, brought on boats and stuff like that. But the origins, the ancestors based upon my motherland and continent that I got pulled from me being African and stuff like that, right? The Pacific, like, group of people was Nigeria, well, the country today, or what they call Nigeria and shit like that. And yeah, I don't know the details about the Pacific tribe, because again, colonization, they ain't gonna keep the records of everything type shit. But for the most part, it's me being in America, and I'm trying to be the Nigerian American version of what the fuck that is. And before pilgrims came over here and stuff like that, and then they started making America like a funneling system, but now they're trying to make it like a big ass mental pot where we all work together. Okay, cool. But considering I'm more on the spiritual side, or the gold mine of how to look at things, right? and you know what I'm saying, of like the substance and essence of the land mass of what it was originally, aka Native Americans. In Africa is for Africans, and then Europe is white people, and then with Asians is people in Asians. That's why on the highest percentage scale it's always gonna be those group of people and stuff like that. Even though I know if you look that shit up on Google, they'd be like, oh, there's a whole bunch of white motherfuckers in Brazil and in North America and Canada and all that type shit. The starting point before all the other shit they was doing with their wars and all that type stuff is high percentage scale. Oh, Native Americans. It was a whole bunch of, it was motherfucking Aztecs. It was motherfucking Mayans. It was, you know what I'm saying, like the original starting point was like a whole bunch of Native Americans. Like we gonna get that straight. So it's like, yeah, I was born here. Okay, my spirit chose to come in this shape and form into this family, into this surrounding, into this environment, and this specific space. Okay, I was born in Georgia. I was born in Atlanta and shit like that. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's like I chose to come into this shape and form again in this washing machine cycle and stuff like that. Shout out Dolo. He the main nigga who be saying that. But yeah. So for me, choosing to come back into this shape and form again as a human in this vessel that I'm utilizing, right? I came into a different mentality, a different mind, and a different body this time, and I'm learning more and more about my internal natures, aka my intuition, my subconscious realm, and trying to make it conscious. You know what I'm saying? Like the astral realm, stuff like that. I'm trying to use my internal energies more instead of utilizing my external energies more. Even though I'm a triple earth sign and shit like that, I'm not even really that materialistic like that. To be honest, I'm not even really that materialistic. I look at things like tools. Like I'm using the external tools and technology in the physical realm, physical world, and earth right now, and I'm trying to ground things, but I'm not lost into a specific shape and form of like that value type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna get lost into industry shit. You're not gonna get me geeked up because you give me $1 million type shit. I feel like I'm rich in spirit. Oh, I feel like I got $1 million just for me being that in that spirit, in that space. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need niggas in powder grids with the eye prophets on the back and in God we trust. You know what I'm saying? Like I still need to live in general because the way they made this system and this government and stuff like that. I'm not saying going against that. I ain't going against that shit. You know what I'm saying? You slide me something and it's a good ass deal. I'm gonna take it for real. But it's like you ain't gonna get me geeked up by like worldly things or like living illustrious type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm that in spirit. So like I'ma always feel like that. I'm not gonna feel less or feel like I'm blessed just because you give that value to me in the physical in some way, shape, and form. The only way I'm gonna feel fulfilled is if the success, not the material success, the actual success of something is resulted. AKA the you know what I'm saying? Like actual success is just, oh, I had a better result than what I did last time, and I learned through trial and error to how to structure it, how to have a foundation when it comes to that, and I did it more independently. So even if I did have assistance, okay, everyone just played a role, and it's with my people type shit. I'm not doing it with strangers or motherfuckers who I don't know like that. Like I ain't gonna have a publicist. I ain't gonna have like agents. I ain't gonna have like a manager who I don't know like that. Like I have to personally get to know you. You have to personally get to know me for me to feel comfortable enough for you to even like make a deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like handle me and shit like that. Like yeah, like you get to know what the fuck you getting into for real, for real. I'm saying this to say a greater point. Greater point being, yeah, I feel like the path and the purpose I'm trying to go down in general is what I'm talking about right now. Oh, you be the Fafeatheremae. I'm trying to be utilized as a vessel based upon God and all possibilities to be utilized as a vessel to show y'all that all possibilities is possible from a broader lens, from the godly space and God's mind and God's body, aka the spirit, the mind, then the body, and me utilizing the technology and the tools that we done built and created through you know what I'm saying, like the different centuries and shit like that, the same way how I'm talking on this phone right now, and me being great when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? Like because from me believing in all possibilities, something that's greater than me, and me being really spiritual, look, just replace the word spirit with individuality, aka I believe in something in existence that is greater than me. It's gonna be a greater individual than me, not like a deity type shit, but oh, I can. There's a thing that we're all creating, and teamwork made a dream. We're all like manifesting, materializing in a sense to make like the what's a good terminology for that? Like the man upstairs, like something like the sky, like the atmosphere, like something like divine, something heavenly. Like we're building that. Like we're making that. We're making what that is, what y'all calling God, like the overall God, all possibilities and stuff like that. I'm just being utilized with a with you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to be utilized as a vessel, like like the overall version of that, not like a religious version of that, because that came after the fact. That's something that's created. I'm talking about like the overall creation of what that is itself. So it's not gonna be like a he or like a she or like a deity or some shit like that. We're making that what it is. So we're gonna make that thing that look like it's impossible, and we make that possible, and we do that on a high level, and then condenses into a low level. You know what I'm saying? It goes angelically, and then it condenses demonically. Not demonic in like a bad way, but like demonic in sense, oh, it condenses until it actually becomes a thing that starts to vibe so low, and it gets so stiff to where it becomes something grounded, something rooted, something physical. Just the same way how you look at a rock or like a mountain or some shit like that, where it's like it's sturdy, it's stable, it's, you know what I'm saying, it stays there, it don't like be moving. It's not super sentient type shit. But the fact we even in these human vessels in general, I'm basically trying to say like the fact we even sentient, that's like a that's like some magical shit. Like that's like some astounding ass shit. Like some fantastical shit. Like we're alive. Like we're sentient right now. Like yeah, we gonna die in the flesh, but like we can see in actuality even after motherfuckers dead. Like we can feel the presence or the essence of something beyond just that, because they was living for something to, you know what I'm saying, have some type of legacy, some legs to stand on. So even after they dead, you ain't really gone though. The spirit wasn't gone. The things you created ain't over. Like it might physically go away, but niggas by memory, niggas by knowing how you lived and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like your spirit ain't gone. Like like what you inspired to be, and you was trying to live out that potential at the highest level. That's never gonna really like tarnish. That's never gonna go away. That's the thing that make you like an ancestor type shit, because of the mind state that you was in, that was inspiring. And you know what I'm saying, and like you did like great things in general. So from you doing those great things, people can relate, oh, this is a greater way to go about something. So it's something beyond just yourself. So that's why it's important not to get lost into an ego of doing something that's self-serving and doing something of service. So that's me giving that knowledge and wisdom towards y'all in general, from the sentiment that I'm talking about. UV the Fafeatheremae. I'm trying to be the great Gen Z, Nigerian American, high priest, mystic, holy man in general. So I'm trying to be the sacred man for y'all. I'm trying to be like y'all spiritual best friend for real, y'all spiritual relative and shit like that. You can always hit me up and be like, man, like I got y'all. I'm gonna get y'all on spiritual game, and then I can talk about physical, like worldly type of things, that things like things we see eye to eye when it comes to being on earth and shit like that. But like that's just my mentality about it. That's my leadership about it. That's my purpose. I like going about it from an overall perspective and shit like that. But yeah, and the more and more I make that more broad, and the more I go farther with that, aka like the farthest light, the like kind of like shit when y'all be saying like the heavenly Father and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to be a walking emanation of that. I'm trying to take that far. I want to make my spirit expand, my creativity expand, my productivity expand. It's something that go farther than just me. Cause you know what I'm saying, cause your spirit is no thing. Shout out Dolo, is no thing. It's no shape and form. I'm trying to take that essence and that substance of no shape and form and make it big as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be big as fuck like a superstar, like I'm Bad Bunny or some shit like that. No, I'm trying to do that for real. And the only way to do that is you have to create it yourself and do it at your own volition. And even like, there's nothing wrong with getting help and stuff like that, but making sure that it's more on a percentage scale of how of like the type of life you want to live, not being in someone else's program, someone else's life, someone else's world, someone else's business, someone else's industry. No, you make that shit. You make that shit. You make that shit what it is. You know what I'm saying? You be the walking representation. You be the star. You be the farthest light. You be the heavenly Father. And then when it gets condensed based upon how you nurture and care for that thing, you care about the motherland, aka Mother Nature. So from you caring about the motherland and Mother Nature, it's gonna get condensed in a way to where, oh, this motherfucker has like this motherfucker got the vision. This motherfucker like an innovator. This motherfucker like a genius. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like using examples. Like it's the same way how y'all be looking at like Albert Einstein and shit like that. Like, oh, this motherfucker got the vision. Like this motherfucker got like the dream. We should follow in his footsteps. Like this a grander way how to go about that. And it's not a motherfucker getting lost into the scientific method. It's not I'm motherfucking getting lost into methodology and shit like that. It's not based upon what another motherfucker tells them and something that has something to do with the physical. It's something beyond just them. Oh, it's a natural, organic talent and ability that they're able to do, and they able to do it from them not giving their power away, and they was giving all that power to themselves, their internal energies, and they just know how to externalize it. That's what makes them grand. That's what makes them broad. That's what makes them, you know what I'm saying? Like the same way how y'all be looking at like philosophers and shit like that. That's what makes them like be that. I'm basically trying to be like the Gen Z spiritual philosopher type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all that really is, for the most part. So the same way how y'all be looking at high priest and mystic and holy men and shit like that, I'm trying to be that, but I'm also trying to attract community and other motherfuckers who on that same type of timing, like motherfuckers who be in my same sentiment type shit. They don't necessarily gotta be a part of my program or my world and shit like that, but it could be a Venn diagram. Oh, we can build, nigga. We can make this shit greater. Like we can make this shit like, well, like on some like ground zero, and then motherfucker, we made like we made a like a civilization and shit like that, and then motherfuckers can talk about what we did, like the same way how we talk about the Mayans and the Aztecs before they got colonized. But you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers look back like, damn, these niggas did this, they did that, they did this. I'm just trying to do that, like in general, entertainment, business, religion, politics, education, everything in existence. Let's talk about all that shit, and like based upon what I pay attention to in my genuine interest, and the genuality is gonna take me farther. Like, oh God, that's why the Fafeatheremae shit is the one who is the farthest light and light as a feather. For me being light as in weight, so like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have a light mentality. I'm able to take things lightly. I don't get bogged down. I don't get dragged down type shit. I'm not carrying that heavy emotion on my back type shit, trying to please others and all that type shit. I'm able to take shit lightly. I'm all like, man, nigga, I'm still UV, bit. I'm still UV. I'm still Fafeatheremae. I'm still on this. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna drag me down to this lower, like, animalistic nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, caring about what humans think. I'm not even trying to say it like I'm better than y'all, but, like, y'all ain't gonna make me get lost into some, like, humanity type of shit. But y'all doing it based upon, like, y'all perspective when it comes to the government and society. Motherfucker, y'all need to be going against that government mentality. What's their mentality of how they like to govern shit? And the more you start thinking like that and having your own ideology about stuff, even though it's going to come off like conspiracy theory or like a philosophical point of view and stuff like that, the more and more you're creating a better circumstance for yourself, have more creativity, more productivity, right? More of a broader way of how you go about it. So even if a motherfucker don't understand how you do it in the process and like the system of how you go about it, motherfuckers still can't sit there and be like, well, this motherfucker still like that's kind of like that's kind of like a music artist, right? I'm trying to make it like really simple. That's kind of like a music artist, right? Look, you can say what you want about Gucci Mane, how he handled his artists, how, you know what I'm saying, like the controversies he's been through and shit like that, the narratives that got thrown at him. But at the same time, you'll sit there and be like, man, I don't know what it is though. This motherfucker and him being Gucci Mane and shit. This nigga was still able to make like 140 fucking projects. And that's no exaggeration, like 100 goddamn mistakes. And there was nothing y'all was saying that, there was nothing y'all could stop this nigga from being in that vision. There was nothing y'all could say to make him stop being in that feeling. Because it's his feeling. It's his feeling. You could not stop his creative process. You could not stop how productive and how much he was just hot. He was just dumping that shit in the game and shit like that. Every fucking year, dropping 20 fucking projects per year. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. The same shit. So yeah, take your power back for real, and you utilize that to build some type of self-esteem and take that seed so it can get planted and germinated, and it grow into a tree, and then that tree turns into a garden, and then now you in the garden of Eden, your own world, your own bliss, from you understanding the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and yeah, just so and then look. I'm gonna post this, and if any motherfucker start talking about Fafeatheremae shit, you know you got that shit for me. Oh God, you got that shit for me. You be the Fafeatheremae motherfucker. Oh God, I'm doing this for my people for real, and I'm here to kick spiritual ass. On God, for all possibilities, for God for real, not no Diddy, not no Diddy, not no deity and shit.